leading companies. Its research and development facilities in India, the UK, and the Netherlands engage leading scientists from many countries to deliver innovative solutions for a variety of health issues. All India Management Association is pleased to present the AIMA Managing India Award for the Indian MNC of the Year to Dr. Reddy's Laboratories Limited through its dynamic chairman, Mr. Satish Reddy.
Thank you, Mr. Damodaran. Congratulations, Mr. Reddy. May I request you, Mr. Reddy, to kindly say a few words?
It's a great honor and privilege to receive this award on behalf of 21,000 associates of Dr. Reddy's who are working not only in India but all over the world. It in fact is a tribute to the grand vision of my father, the late Dr. Anju Reddy, and the founder of the company. Because more than just creating a multinational, his vision was to accelerate access to affordable and innovative medicines, because it was his firm belief that good health can't wait. That's what he always stood for. And this is really a tribute to him, for all the great work that he has done. So once again, thank All India Management Association for bestowing this honor on the company. Thank you very much.
We now come to the AIMA Managing India Award for the Corporate Citizen of the Year Award. This accolade will be awarded to an individual who has made a significant contribution to the public good, be it through strengthening health and education system, alleviating poverty, helping the handicapped, or providing underprivileged children a promising future. To read the citation for the award, we have with us Ms. Anju Modi, International Fashion Designer. May I request Ms. Modi to please join us on stage and introduce the award winner.
Very good evening, friends. It is an immense pleasure and an honor to read the citation for Mr. Ajay Piramal, a distinguished business leader, philanthropist, and social entrepreneur. He epitomizes the spirit of corporate social responsibility, a man who believes that wealth is earned not just to keep, but to share. He has founded the Piramal Foundation to invest in public services for the poor and the needy. The foundation is enabling millions of people to access healthcare services, education, drinking water, and livelihood. An investor in the potential of youth, he puts special efforts in promoting school education and raising teaching standards in the government schools. He is the chairman of Pratham, India's largest social enterprise in the area of primary education, and he has instituted a principal leadership development program for the headmasters of government-run primary schools. He has also instituted Piramal Fellowship to promote social development skills for college and B-school students. An accomplished leader of Indian society, Indian industry, he has made significant contribution to economic policy, development and institutional governance. He has served on the Prime Minister's Task Force on Knowledge-Based Industries and the Prime Minister's Council for Trade and Industry. He is a member of the SEBI's Alternative Investment Policy Advisory Committee and he is also the chairman of the Board of Governors of IIT Indore. Ladies and gentlemen, All India Management Association is pleased to present the AIMA Managing Award for the Corporate Citizen of the Year, Mr. Ajay Piramal.
Thank you, Ms. Anju Modi. Congratulations, Mr. Ajay Piramal. May I request you to please share your thoughts with us?
It's indeed a great honor to receive the award from AIMA, which is the leading management association in the country, and more so from the hands of Mr. Suresh Prabhu, who himself is an outstanding leader and manager. The belief that we in our foundation have is that the problems of India are immense, and they need innovative solutions. We can't import solutions that have been tried before, and that's where private companies and foundations can play a role. And working in partnership, close partnership with government, because we believe that it's only scale that can make a difference, and scale needs government help. I think we have been able to make some difference working closely with government and other agencies in the field of education, healthcare, women's empowerment, and leadership. So I want to thank you for acknowledging this, and I hope that with your prayers, we'll have more strength to continue this work. Thank you.
Under the next category, Business Leader of the Year Award, we honor an individual who has revolutionized traditional Indian business practices while keeping the shareholders' interests uppermost in their mind with a relentless and clearly demonstrated strategic direction. To read out the citation and introduce the winner for the Business Leader of the Year Award, we have with us Mr. Richard Rekhy, CEO, KPMG in India. May I request Mr. Richard Rekhy to please join us on stage and introduce the winner of the Business Leader of the Year Award.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's truly an honor and privilege to introduce, to read this citation on Rajiv Bajaj, doesn't need much introduction, but as I need to do it, I will do this. Rajiv is a dynamic business leader who has built India's best-known 2- and 3-wheeler company into an innovative and international organization driven by the vision of making his company a global leader in its chosen domain. He is constantly expanding the company's portfolio and market footprint. Over this period of time, he has taken some bold decisions. Well known for his passion for motorcycles, conviction and focus, he has made Bajaj Auto the market leader in the performance motorcycle segment in India and the largest exporter of motorcycles and 3-wheelers from the country. An astute strategist with a single-minded focus and a more sustainable way to think about growth, he has adjusted well to the swings in the global markets. He has ensured growth by introducing new products in both the domestic and the overseas markets and diversified the exports by entering new, more stable overseas markets. A technology and innovation-oriented business leader, he has spearheaded many initiatives to develop new technologies and designs in motorcycles and the 3-wheelers. Amongst his recent and path-breaking innovations is Qute, a quadricycle that offers more comfort and safety than 2- and 3-wheelers and has the potential to be an affordable alternate to the microcars. The vehicle is being exported to many overseas markets, including Turkey, Russia, and Peru. He's an ardent practitioner of yoga. Yoga has helped him focus. Homeopathy aided him in identifying the principle on which to base the company's growth. It started by strengthening the body inside out, and in his own words, before you seek collaboration, try to have your own R&D. Before you export anywhere, first ask if your quality is up to the standard. All India Management Association is pleased to present the AIMA Managing India Award for the Business Leader of the Year to Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, Managing Director, Bajaj Auto.
Congratulations, Mr. Rajiv Bajaj. Thank you, Mr. Rekhy. May I request you, Mr. Bajaj, to kindly say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. Many thanks to all of you at AIMA, especially my friend Sanjeev, who's not here because he was chairman of the jury, my even better friend Rekha, and my family, including my wife Deepa, who's here, and my brother-in-law Vikram. Thank you all. Sir, मैं आपसे कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ. I know that my father and you have known each other for a long time, sir. And I think many people here will know that वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा बोलते हैं. And very often जब ज़्यादा बोलते हैं तो he is very critical of politicians. But I can tell you very honestly, for the last 20 years, I have heard such wonderful things about you from him that it gives me great pleasure to receive this award from you, sir. Friends, I joined Bajaj 25 years ago with a few engineers. We all joined at the same time. We are still working together. I don't know whether we did the right things or not, but we joined a company that made lots of scooters and sold all of them only in India. Today, 25 years later, we don't make any scooters. We make only motorcycles, but the good news is we sell them all over the world. At least as Indians, we'll be proud to know half of what we make is exported. It goes to the US. It goes all over Europe, from Germany to Russia. It goes to Australia, it goes to Japan, it goes everywhere. 70% of all motorcycles exported from India go from Bajaj. And you know, when we joined 25 years back, we had a dream. We would notice that when we used to travel abroad, we noticed that people were in praise of some things that were Indian. You know, Indian food, Indian movies, Indian cricket and cricketers, Indian IT engineers of late, Indian doctors always, but nobody thought much of Indian engineers. So we had a dream that ऐसा motorcycle बनाएंगे कि एक दिन wherever in the world people ride a motorcycle, मन में ख्याल तो आना चाहिए कि सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी. Thank you very much.
And incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, that day has also come when people appreciate everything that is Indian. We now come to the last award of the evening, Outstanding Institution Builder Award. This award aims to honor an individual who has displayed exceptional vision and leadership in building an organization or institution, a person who has been the driving force of an organization and has made a major contribution to an industry and nation building at large. To read out the citation of this award, we have with us Mr. Rajiv Luthra, founder and managing partner, Luthra & Luthra Law Offices. It is my privilege to request Mr. Rajiv Luthra to please join us on stage and introduce the award winner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. the outstanding institution builder, Mr. S. Ramadorai. Former Vice Chairman, Tata Consultancy Services, Chairman, National Skill Development Agency and National Skill Development Corporation. A doyen of the IT industry, he is a key architect of India's global success as a provider of IT services. He took over as CEO of Tata Consultancy Services 1996 and led the company through its rapid expansion phase, which included the company going public in 2004. Well, this is not part of the citation, but most of you don't know his love of music. When he was 3, he got lost. And they found that he was listening to a concert of Nadaswaram, and they found him after quite a lot of police searches, etc. Anyway, continuing his citation, Mr. Ramadorai transformed Tata Consultancy Services from an aspiring pioneer into a technological leader. During his tenure as the CEO, TCS revenues grow from 155 million to 6 billion in under 2 decades. He spent over 4 decades with the company and left a tremendous legacy when he retired as its vice chairman in 2014. A visionary and accomplished business leader, he continues to be a valued member of the Tata Group leadership. He is the chairman of Tata Advanced Systems, Tata Technologies and Air Asia India, and he heads the group's CSR efforts. An outstanding human capital builder, he's been involved with the government skill development program since 2011. He is the chairman of the National Skills Development Agency with the rank of a cabinet minister. In recognition of his commitment and dedication to the IT industry and public service, he has received the Padma Bhushan Award from the Government of India. All India Management Association is pleased to present the AIMA Managing India Award for Outstanding Institution Builder to Mr. S. Ramadorai. I'd like to call on the man who has been a regular at the Mumbai Marathon as well, and who's a Carnatic music aficionado, and who's a leader in every way in his industries. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Subramaniam Ramadorai.
Congratulations, Mr. Ramadorai. Thank you, Mr. Luthra. We'd like to hear from you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Looking at that audio visual, I'm looking the same, bald right through the 40 years. Thank you, Railway Minister, Honorable Suresh Prabhuji, All India Management Association, and all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this award, which rightfully belongs to the entire family of Tata Consultancy Services, and also my family. My wife is here, Mala, today. I think what has excited me most in this great corporation, the Tata Group and Tata Consultancy, is the value systems and continuously giving the opportunities to push the envelope. We have one very simple problem which still continues today, more of an India problem also. How do you manage when the average age of your company is 23 years? That's what it was. Today it may be about 27 or 28. And that's the power of the youth of this country. Today it's a corporation of 340,000 people, still growing, and unmatched revenue of about $14 billion with a net operating margin of 26%. But most important is the human capital which we have built and put India on the IT map of the world, which is today a $129 billion industry, employing about 3.5 million professionals directly and almost 10 million indirectly. When you look at the skills space, again, it's a gigantic problem for the nation, again, because of the demographic profile and the kind of challenges which we have. All I want is a simple request to all of you, please recognize the skills and more importantly, give them the dignity and also pay the wages which they rightfully deserve. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
That brings us to the end of the award presentation ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you all to please give a big round of applause one more time for all our awardees tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege now to request our chief guest at the ceremony, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, the Honorable Minister for Railways, to address the august gathering.
So, good evening, friends. I've been attending several programs of AIMA. I think about a year ago or 2 years ago, I was here when the awards were given to some distinguished people for their contribution in various fields. And I was wondering then, I'm even wondering today, that how they must be making this selection. I was just looking at the type of people who have been awardees. I don't think there could have been better person than this in any of the field that they have chosen. So I really wish to congratulate AIMA for having a fabulous process of selection. So I think if you can share that information, we can probably select every person in that category, in every public life, everywhere else. Probably India would be a much better place. So I think I really wish to congratulate AIMA. And then again, someone who have been chosen are very interesting fields. E-commerce, a growing area. I think over a period of time, everybody is going to operate from home. The problem for mobility like you and me. But, so that one area, Delhi Metro, I think urbanization is rising. I would not say people should not use more vehicles, because I think two of you stalwarts are here. But we need more public transport. And therefore, we will need connectivity, mobility in a form where more people can travel in one single sphere of operation. So that is something for Delhi Metro. Amazon is again the same category. Of course, two of them are not here, but entertainment. I think as we earn more, or we earn not only money but earn tension. So we need little more relaxation, and therefore we need more and more of entertainment in the years to come. I know Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, one of the great achievement of India. One is in auto component business, and other is the area, of course, you're not just component, you actually make this. But I'm just saying two great contribution of India's global supply chain is coming from automobile industry, and other is from pharma industry. And both Ajay as well as my good Dr. Reddy's son, both of them have played a great role. I remember some years ago, we always used to feel that everything has to be, the foreign brand is very important. Then we started doing, people used to abuse us that we are doing reverse engineering. That was maybe a starting point. All industries have grown like that. Even US started early, after the Industrial Revolution, 200 years ago, they also started that way. Then came Japan. The Made in Japan brand was not all, people used to say Made in Japan, not all good, but Made in US was good. Then became Japanese Made in Japan, very important. Now, China, probably people are doubting, but they are also rising value chain. But in generics, we have done something amazing. The new drug delivery system, the new molecule that we developed, are now become made India as a capital of generic drugs. And that's thanks to this contribution by two of our great individuals. Of course, Rajiv, Bajaj, I know one of the great things is, of course, we always used to think that Bajaj was synonymous with one type of vehicle. The way you change gears, made it happen, really congratulations to you. And really, I wish to also honor the contributor for this. And I always said about Ajay Piramal, great person, and Ramadorai has been rightly honored, not for his contribution to a company alone, which itself is a great organization, but also as an institution builder, because I know he has also created new institution for developing skills for the country and many others. So I think all of these awardees have done a phenomenal job, and therefore I wish to, while congratulating AIMA for selecting them, also congratulate each one of them for the great contribution. Of course, Rajat Sharma, I forgot, he is also another good friend of mine, as well as a great contributor. And I think Rajat Sharma is the original interrogator on the television. So he's the one I would wish to congratulate him. I don't know whether I cannot see him, but he's also another great contributor. So each one of them has, oh, sorry. I don't know while reading. Sorry, I missed that. But so congratulations to all of you. And I think it's a time when everything, not today, from time immemorial and for times to come, everything is going to revolve around management. How do you manage everything? Of course, you manage wrongly, then things can happen, as we are discussing in the parliament. But we really need to find out how do you actually manage everything. And first time, I think everybody is experiencing that managing not only your own business is important, but understanding what is happening in others' business is more important. The externalities are now putting so much of influence on your own corporate policies. I don't think there has been any time in history that such a huge change has happened in such a short time. Now just imagine that any business that you need to manage, probably you can say, I developed the best product. Okay, I've studied the competition, so I understand that where I benchmark my product. But now, it's not enough. Because what's happening maybe about 1,000, 2,000 miles away is going to influence you for no fault of yours. The market conditions are changing so rapidly, so not to increase market share, not only understanding your own market, but understanding the global economy, the interplay that it has with your own market forces has become so critical. And therefore, suddenly, the uncertainties are rising. And those uncertainties are the one which I don't think how we are going to deal with. So the biggest challenge now is understanding the uncertainties, then comes the managing uncertainties. But I think the biggest challenge now that we are all facing, and globally, is how do you understand what is happening? Nobody understands what is happening. That's another part, because I've been participating even in the G20 negotiation, and I was discovering that everybody was saying, yes, now I think I have a hang of my own economy. But like you're seeing, the US, the Japan, the European Union, even China, most of the major economies are one of the biggest challenge for them is not the economy itself, but the uncertainty surrounding about the future of the economy. And therefore, managing businesses in such a huge uncertain atmosphere, not related directly to your own business, also not necessarily only affect your own markets, but understanding its complexity is going to be a big, big challenge for us. And I'm sure all the distinguished people will navigate the businesses, not only for them, but for our own country, so that we actually reach our destination in a proper manner. As a country, also we have gone through various phases. Just immediately after independence, our only issue was how to manage transition. Because we never realized that we'll get independence in such a manner, so we got it. How do you manage the transition from being under foreign rule for so long, and now understanding how are you going to manage everything on our own? So building institution was important, meeting aspirations was important, creating new fervor of running India was important, not just winning freedom was, as we are doing earlier, was only the one. So all of that was the first phase. Then came the second phase in which there was the Cold War. So we thought managing our foreign relations is very important. If you manage foreign relations well, then probably you can go through the process. Immediately, even in the 70s, when there was the first oil shock, we thought the best way to manage it is to have good relations with the countries who have got more oil. We never managed it in our domestic way. We didn't understand the implications of that as well as we should have. And then we managed that. Then came another phase in the early 90s when we realized that probably to best manage the economy, decontrol. Rightly so. There is nothing absolutely necessary. But that was a much easier phase of doing it. Just decontrol, de-license, deregulate, and things will happen. It happened, but with a limited success. So now come a phase, very important, is how do you manage the next phase of growth in a way that we have achieved so much, but even more yet to be achieved. And in that phase, I think what is going to be important is the overall ambit of management at a macro level. And I think there again, I'm sure AIMA will contribute, help us to understand and to also create a new environment. How do you manage this? Globally, very interestingly, people are thinking that now the demand side management is more important because there has been an oversupply. If you really go globally, there is more or less oversupply for everything. But so demand side management is important also because the oversupply is not just of commodities, not just creating of capacity to manufacture things, but also at the same time, there has been natural resources in short supply. So it's a very paradoxical situation. There has been oversupply, at the same time there is a constraint on natural resources. So people realize that in this context, we need to do how to actually create demand-side management for natural resource management. In India, we are in a very unique phase. We understand demand-side management is critical,